welcome. I'm Anne. Thank you for joining me. I've noticed that in times of crisis and emergencies, communities, organisations and individuals will provide places of safety for people escaping from danger and who are threatened with their lives. That can be as a result of conflict, but it can also be as a result of natural disasters like bushfires, flooding and earthquakes. And these places that they go to are shelters that provide protection from further harm. They also provide practical care and support with immediate needs and ongoing concerns as things start to settle down. I've been reflecting on the different qualities of what love is and what it is not. The quality I want to look at today is that love always protects. I have a memory of something my husband told me years ago when he took our baby boy for a walk in the stroller along with our 3-year-old daughter who was walking beside him. They were walking down the street and all of a sudden, on the other side of a wooden fence they were passing, a dog started barking loudly and ferociously. Our daughter, who'd been on his side next to where the fence was, whipped around and grabbed his legs so fast that he couldn't move. She had decided, quite logically, that her best place of safety in the face of danger was behind her daddy. And so he provided shelter for her. He provided protection. And that's what love does. When love always protects, that means it always responds with safe and supportive and practical care. It accepts people as they are, no matter what the circumstances. And it doesn't expose them to destructive criticism or judgmental and discriminating behaviour, or for that matter, stigma and humiliation. A person who's protective and supportive is willing to let themselves become exposed and vulnerable in order to prevent harm and relieve anxiety and worry on someone else. Love responds generously and openly to the needs and interests of family members, friends, neighbours, and others in the community. There is a term that I've begun to hear in the media of late, in addition to social distancing and social isolation, and it's all in relation to coronavirus. It is the term PPE, personal protective equipment, such as masks, gowns, gloves. I'm sure there's a couple of other bits and pieces in there. Now, I could wear all that kind of gear because I'm afraid that I'm going to catch the virus. In that instance, my actions become all about me. I don't really care about anybody else. It's as long as I'm okay. But that isn't what love that protects is all about. When I look at healthcare workers, I see something very different. They're wearing the masks and the gowns and the gloves. And yes, it's in part to protect themselves, but it is especially so that they can help care for those who are unwell and to test people in the community as a way of managing the virus outbreak, and in that way to improve people's protections and to create safe and living places for them to live in. God gives Jesus' followers certain PPE, if you like, not to wear for themselves to protect themselves, but so they can protect and support and shelter other people. He says that he wants to dress us as his followers, you and I, in a wardrobe that he has picked out for us. And that wardrobe includes compassion, kindness, humility, discipline, quiet strength, and it's even tempered, content with second place, and quick to forgive others. And God, as part of that PPE, gives us the capacity to forgive as quickly and completely as the Master Jesus has forgiven us. And regardless of what else we do, he wants us to put on love, because that is our all-purpose garment. And he wants us never to be without it. God has designed his protective gear to keep Jesus' followers strong and focused when it comes to acting in love. It isn't always easy to protect and be supportive and sheltering, and sometimes those actions need to last over the long haul. So this protective gear that he gives us includes wearing truth as a belt, if you like, around our waist. It's God's justice and holiness that we can wear like a protective gown, armour that protects our heart. Readiness to share the blessings of peace are in many ways, for me, like thinking of those little surgical slippers that I see people wearing in TV shows and that kind of thing to help prevent the spread of germs. And God's undeserved forgiveness and love is like the face mask that we can wear and the visor as we help others. Faith becomes the wraparound shield that enables us to withstand all kinds of circumstances. And the Word of God, the Bible, we can use like a sword to protect not only ourselves but others from harm. And then there's prayer, which we can use to remind us that we are not alone, that the Spirit of God is there and his presence is with us. In the Psalms, there is a prayer that seeks God's protective love. It's Psalm 61, and I'd like to read it to you. God, listen to my shout. Bend an ear to my prayer. When I'm far from anywhere, down to my last gasp, I call out, guide me to the high rock mountain. You've always given me breathing room, a place to get away from it all. A lifetime pass to your safe house. An open invitation to be your guest. You've always taken me seriously, God. Made me welcome among those who know and love you. Let the days of the King add up to years and years of good rule. Set his throne in the full light of God. Post steady love and good faith as lookouts. And I'll be the poet who sings your glory and live what I sing every day. In the same way that God gives us his protective love, that gives us breathing room, that is a place to get away from it all when we need it, a safe house, an open invitation to be his guest, where he takes us seriously and makes us feel welcome. That's exactly the kind of love that protects and supports that he wants us to be offering to those who are around us. It's a challenge, but he does equip us wonderfully well. Without PPE. Bye for now, and I'll see you tomorrow.